Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, I know this video is talking about the brake light here, but a little backstory as a lot of my things happen here. I was putting my wheelchair lift on the back of my Jeep, and if you want to see how I normally hook this up to my truck and stuff and how I've wired it up, I have a whole video on this already, so go check that out in my playlist, probably under both the truck playlist, GMC/Chevy playlist, as well as probably a couple of my other ones. Just kind of look up for the wheelchair lift, you'll find it on my channel. Anyhow, when I went to lift it, I got it all the way up and went to put it back down, and I thought I popped the fuse because it wouldn't go back down. So what I'm going to show you, I noticed that this light was out. Now hopefully you guys can see this. We're outside, so there might be some sun shining through it, but this light was out, so I thought, oh, I popped a fuse, doggone it, this isn't going to work on here, or I'll have to rewire something, which I still may. But you probably can't see it very well. This one over here is on, barely, but it is on. So that kind of makes me think that I have maybe a problem, hopefully not. But also the third brake light up at the top here is not working. So I think either this overloaded something and messed something up, or one of the brake lights just decided to go out, and if one goes out it takes the power from the rest of the system. I'm hoping that's what it is. And I'm hoping it has nothing to do with this, that I overpowered something and it pops that light bulb as a safety fuse, so to speak, but we're about to find out. And the other particular note about this lift is that you cannot use your car very well with it. You can't do the lift gate. I am able to, with this particular rig, get the window open if I put it in just the right place. But as you can see, I had to take the spare tire off to get it in there, and there's no way to lift the gate or open the gate. And the other unfortunate thing is to get to that light bulb, you have to be able to open the gate. So there you go, now you know. I'm sure both sides here are very much similar as far as changing the bulb, but I will say on this one, your screws are inside the door, right on the outside here, nice and easy to get to. On this one, on the other hand, because the door is there, you actually have to be down in here on the side. Mine actually only has one screw in it, right here, right in this area. There should be another one further down, which since I'm doing this, I will try and find one and replace it. But what I found is a very long Torx that I have here. Hopefully it'll do. Torx driver here. I have a T20. I believe that's what it is. And in my case, that took care of it all. Most time you'd have to come through here, down through this area, and get one down here as well. And I believe it should just pop straight out usually. Not a whole lot to grab here, but we'll give it a little bit of a yank. There's just a couple of nipples here that go in the holes there. And then as you can see, there's a whole bunch of ugly wiring here. And I believe anyway, when they did, if you go watch my videos, I already talk about this. When they did all the recall stuff on this vehicle, which go check this out if you have a Jeep Liberty. There's several recalls on them, and there are some very safety issues that they have. Ball joints in the front, lower arms in the rear. They'll replace it all for free if your car hasn't already had it done. And ours is an 04 and hadn't had it done yet, so we did take it in. Although, watch that video if you do that, because they definitely tried to rip me off. So go check that video out. But beyond that, during that, even though I tested a trailer on the hitch that they also replaced, which is a hitch on the back here, and if there's not one, they'll put one on there for you, or they should, because it's for rear impact. These cars did not take rear impact well, so they put hitches on the back of them. Alright, beyond all those stories, during that, all of a sudden my wiring quit working and I came in here. There was only one screw yet again in this light, and all those wires looked like they'd been cut. And this was after I brought it back the second time and told them what idiots they were. Maybe I shouldn't have done that quite so meanly, but I was pretty pissed at the time. Anyhow, so I'm going to unwrap this and try to see if there's anything bad going on here. I'm first going to just replace the bulb yet again. As with most of my things, I don't work on them until I just absolutely have to, if I don't have time to do it. And at some point I will have to actually figure this out and make it right, and look forward to a video on that as well. But for now, I'm going to check and see if the light bulb will work, see if I can get this thing working without blowing the light bulb, and we'll go from there. So in this particular rear end here, the top bulb, I believe, is the one I'm looking at here. Ring or something in there that's holding it in. I'm going to carefully, with a pair of pliers. Alright. Honestly, I can't tell if that's burnout or not. Really doesn't totally look like it, but I can't tell. Put this in one more time here. Just messing with it did anything. Nope. So I'll mess with the wires here a little bit, see if I can get something going. Alright, so first I'm going to look at this one, because this one's not working as well, and I don't know if it's always not been working, or if it, maybe this one burned out and causes that one to not work. I don't know. We're going to take a look inside. Ooh, okay. Well, that one's definitely destroyed, which makes me wonder if I somehow did overload the system with this thing. Wow. Alright, well that's not good. So we got this figured out, that the bulb in here at the very least is burnt up, and it does appear like it burnt the inside of it. So that does lead me to believe I might have thrown too much power through this system the way I have this hooked up. That's why in my videos I always say, if you do it the way I do it, you do your own research, and I'm not responsible if you do. And I'll state that in this one as well. And we definitely have this one, although very dim, it is working. So we have narrowed it down. These two here are definitely not working, but I think the bulb and the actual tail light is fine. But I don't know if I got power going to here. I don't know which one would be what here. I have this hooked to, oh no I don't. I had it hooked to a good ground. I'm assuming the trailer light is a good ground anyway. And I got nothing coming to any of these. So I got my tester hooked up to what I believe is a good ground. I checked my tester with what I know is a good battery, and it's working. And I know this light is working here, so I'm going to test this and see what one, see if I can get a light to work here. And see what one, there we are, right there. I'm assuming, so I know that ground down there is good. So hopefully you saw that went out, so I know that's the one I'm looking for on this side. So now I can kind of compare it to the other side and see why it is or isn't working here. Thinking right here that should be working for that, but it's not. And I know that'll work now the way I'm doing it, but none of these are functioning. So then I know there's there's just no power getting here. So my next bet is to look in here and see if there's something there, and hopefully I'll be able to maybe chase it down. I don't want to really poke into these if I don't have to, but I may have to poke in down here and see if it's going further, something further down. It could be something with, I did a trailer wiring on this, and because of the way it was before, I kind of just went with what I had there, and I did a video on it just to kind of show how you might do it. So if you learn nothing else from my video, when it comes to wiring, you need two things: comfort and patience. Those two things, if you're not comfortable, it's difficult to be patient. So sit down and start checking. I turn the light on and make sure we still have a light on the other side going here, which we do. I also looked at the wiring up top at the third brake light, and that has a white and brown and then a black to it. So I came down here, and as you can see, it's just a mess. This white and brown one also goes down to the light down here, or to my trailer lights down here. Yet again, I didn't do this, but I knew this was here like this. That's why I did my trailer lights the way I did them, and just kind of spliced into what was here at the time. And I used a used one. I knew I was going to be doing this later on. I was yet again just trying to get by, which that's the reason I do these videos. Most of you are just trying to get something going so you can get to work the next day, and so therefore that's kind of why I do these makeshift or not real professional way of doing things jobs. And right now I'm just getting what I have working, hopefully. So I know I have the light on. This should be the one right here, actually, that should be making this work. Even though my light in the back there, the one light is working but the other two aren't, I could not figure out why the power wouldn't be going back to just those two lights. And so I just decided I'm going to go through the fuses. That was kind of, I didn't think fuses because I had both the front lights are working and the one tail light is working. So I thought, if it was a fuse, at least both the tail lights wouldn't be working, even if both the headlights were working. But in the fact of going through here and figuring out that several of these have lights, if I came to this one here, and my light works there, but does not work there. Now, as you can see, I can turn off, hopefully you can see this, turn the light off and on with my lights. So we know we have a bad fuse there. If the power is not going from one to the other, and if there's power in one but not in another, you probably have a bad fuse, or it's a switched one. Regardless, I pull that out, and sure enough, it is a bad fuse. So now I need to see if I have some fuses that are spares. I'm not positive, but at least I can take a 10 here for now. Just remember where you take it from. I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to turn my lights on, which I turn the lights off during that. Now I should have power going from there to there. And also, we're going to have sirens all over. We are on the driver's side. There's a passenger. Driver's side. And it's kind of difficult to see, but there is a light there. So we just blew a fuse. Well, YouTube, as you can see, I got the lift up, but unfortunately I can't get it back down until I put a fuse in. So the way I have this hooked up, yet again, you have to go check that out on another video, will not work for this specific car. And the funny thing is, I've used it on my truck the whole time this way. I've used it on my Explorer the whole time this way. I used it on my mom's Nissan Rogue this way, and I think a couple other cars this way that I can't even think of what they were. But they all worked, but this one seems to blow a fuse. So if you have a Jeep Liberty like this one, It's an 04. The way I hook this up, where I just hook it right to the directly to the actually hooked to the light switch on the plug down there for trailers. Now I know that's not technically how you're supposed to do it, but it's worked on everything until now. So little, I guess, side note, little lesson learned, little bit of electrical diagnostics and how to change a bulb in this thing. So a little bit of everything here. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to use it the way I was hoping, so keep an eye out for a video one day, but it won't happen for now. I got to get this working. We will probably end up taking my truck where we planned on going, which is just going to cost us more gas, unfortunately, but I'm not sure if I can get this thing going. Well, in the end, it's dark out here. I got this thing on the truck and the Jeep is not going to work, but like I said, I've been told this wasn't going to work even on the truck here. So and it's worked on, like I said, 4 or 5 cars that we've used. The Jeep unfortunately didn't have the oomph to get it done. I don't know why, but as you can see, it's up here on the truck. We're going to use the truck tomorrow, and luckily it's fairly easy to put it on the truck. We're going a little ways and I didn't want to spend the gas. At some point I will try and get it on that Jeep, figure out what I need to do to make it work on the Jeep, but until then, thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and I'm obviously master of none. You all have a good one. So if you learned nothing else from my video, oh, don't do that.